Hello, welcome back to a new school year. I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce myself and the math department to you. My name is Mrs. Bennett and I teach sixth grade math. I'm also the math department chair. The rest of the team consists of Mrs. Frischman, my partner teacher in sixth grade, Mrs. Coots and Mrs. Oliva for seventh, Mrs. Godfrey, who teaches pre-algebra and Algebra 1 honors, and Mrs. McAfee in eighth grade teaches Algebra 1 honors and geometry. We also have two additional team members in the math department, Mrs. Rose, who teaches intensive math, and her paraprofessional, Mrs. Jessup. As you enter the math classrooms, there are some supplies that you need to be successful. There are also some additional supplies that will help your child. We are a one-to-one technology school, which is awesome. In that case, you may want to purchase a stylus pen for your student. It makes writing on the iPad, those math problems, a little bit easier and less frustrating for them. So a stylus is a handy tool to have in their toolbox. Also highlighters, sticky notes, colored pencils, and for seventh and eighth grade only, you will need to purchase a calculator. There may be some other supplies on the list that your teacher gives you, but one thing for sure in math, no pens. Your student can use pens in other classrooms without any problem, but as you can imagine, with problem solving and a math journal, pens can get a little messy. All right, iPractice is our homework component, and it can look different from classroom to classroom depending on teacher and depending on how they model their instruction, also depending on the lesson. This is not an inclusive list, but some of the video or some of the practice they might have is with watching a video or doing some application practice in IXL, Khan Academy, etc. The important thing is homework should not be taking up too much of your student's time. A good barometer is 30 minutes of practice between class periods would be sufficient. If your child is really struggling to get their math homework done in that 30-minute time frame, just reach out to your teacher and they will give you some guidance. We do offer free tutoring here at RMA. It's an awesome resource to tap into. Scheduling for tutoring is done through Sign Up Genius. A link will be shared with you once the school year begins. And our tutoring program is scheduled to begin mid-August this year. You may be wondering what the difference is between a grade level math course and an accelerated math course. This year, the state of Florida has adopted new standards. So these classes have very different expectations. If your child enters sixth grade with grade level class, they will be learning the sixth grade standards with an end of year assessment. Seventh grade, they would have a seventh grade math classroom. And then in eighth grade, they would be taking a pre-algebra course that would get them ready for high school. Accelerated classes run a little bit differently, and there are two options. If your child enters sixth grade at an accelerated level, they would move to a seventh grade pre-algebra class. And then in their eighth grade year, they would be taking a high school course. It's Algebra 1 honors. And at the end of that course, there is an end of course exam, and this class would count toward their high school credit. So they would leave middle school with some of their high school credits already achieved. There is one other option for accelerated math, and that's for a student who is testing out at the highest percentile at the end of sixth grade. In this case, they would skip the pre-algebra course, and in seventh grade, they would enter that first Algebra 1 high school course with an end of course exam. And then in eighth grade, they would be offered geometry, which is another high school course. This track is very small number of students that qualify to do this. In essence, they would skip pre-algebra and go directly into Algebra 7th and then into Geometry 8th. If you have any questions about whether or not your child would be a candidate for this track, you would need to be working directly with the teacher, the sixth grade advanced teacher, and also with our guidance department. And we can provide you some more guidelines whether or not this would be the right path for your child. I'm so happy to meet all of you. I hope to see you around campus this year. As department chair, you can find my website on the school website. Just click under staff, find my name, and it will link you to any of these slides and information you might need. I look forward to a great year. Go RMA.